All right. We on time. All right. So I hope this little new night, night schedule works out. So we're live a little bit early. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Venus Day. Happy Friday. And happy, is it solar eclipse coming up? So yeah. So my apologies for postponing. So last week I needed to postpone just to gather myself, have some time to myself, my energy. So we're back, and this is divine timing because I feel like the topic that was already planned for last week is actually fitting for this week, considering what's going on with the planets, okay? With that eclipse. So we on time. So hey everybody, hey ladies, how are you guys doing? How is everybody feeling? You prefer this time? Yeah, because, if you like on another part of the world or like East Coast time, it is like a little late how I had it last. So hopefully we can stick to this schedule and like make it work. Hey, hey everybody. How is everybody doing? All right. So I do have my first five fairies. Let me scroll up. Yamina, Brianna, Mahogany, Deandra, and Christina. So if you guys already left your questions in the chat, thank you. Um, yeah, I feel a little bit I'm not totally rejuvenated completely. I'm hoping that next week or the week after, because okay, that I want to jump into that real quick before I get into the live itself. So next week, next Friday, I'm not going to be able to do the Ghetto Fairy Friday for next week, but the second Friday of April we'll be back. Okay. Um, I want to do some new things with Ghetto Fairy Friday too. So it's not only just going to be restrictive to the readings and the rituals. Like I kind of want to have some guests on too, maybe, or like something interactive, or like have some sort of level of interaction. I'll figure it out, but that's what I have planned in mind. Like I've been sitting on this for a few months now, so I want to do some things with it. Hey, greetings ladies. Hey sis, how are y'all? Yes, I want to do some things with the Ghetto Fairy Friday where it's just not the same type of order all the time. Like, yeah, we do the themes every week, like different topics, different types of rituals, but I want to switch it up to where there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? Like more interaction, more community interaction. So that's how we're gonna do it. Moving moving forward, we'll switch it up. It was kicking you behind. I'm so sorry, sis. I understand. Like this is probably late for some of you guys already as it is, but like the whole 8 thing, like 8 o'clock and like 9 o'clock, that's my time. Like I know that's like really I can't stay up. I get it. Okay. So if I called your name, because so far, Christina, Deandra, and Brianna left their questions. So I'm missing Yamina's question and Mahogany's question or topic. Okay, so Christina's question was, how were you perceived by the men you encountered on your B-Day weekend? Whew, excuse me. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mars. Yeah, I would love to kind of like build a community space and like topics and discussions, like people free to express themselves in a safe space and in a respectful manner. Okay, we don't want no drama, we don't want no mess. We're too grown for all of that. You could take that shit somewhere else. Don't bring that over here. Okay. Let's see, Christina. All right. Hangman. Okay, the hangman with the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck and the devil at the top of the deck. So your energy might have felt unapproachable in the sense of people that are usually maybe very cocky or confident, or it could be like a false sense of confidence where they're able to approach and go after who they want, or feel like, okay, I got this in the bag. I know how to approach this one. All I got to do is this and that. Your energy might have felt like someone that, they got to approach in another way or outside of their comfort level or zone, or made them question themselves a bit. Like maybe stand back and kind of think a little bit about their approach, or if they should even approach you, because I feel like your energy does demand authenticity. Okay. Um, I feel like with the King of Wands, these are people that are attractive themselves. They are charismatic. They might be confident in some areas or cocky, like I said. Like it could be a false sense of confidence or cockiness. A little bit of toxicity. They can read you and tell that you're not for it. Like you're not gonna fall for that. So I feel like the energies, for the most part, like they might have engaged with you to a certain degree or certain level, or with a certain boundary. They know that they could not approach you or come at you or try to interact and connect in a way that they're used to doing, because some of it is a little toxic. Some of it could have been like, even if their intentions were not toxic, they know that your energy requires a certain level of effort that maybe they feel like they're not at the place to meet, or that they're not confident that they can meet, or makes them kind of get in their head a little bit. It's kind of the energy I get from this message. Um, but yeah. All right. So her, yes, you be in your bed by 9:30. I feel you. I feel you. Some nights I be in bed, but I still be up, or sometimes I just really literally can't go to bed, can't go to sleep. That's like, it's weird. Like you would think like after you get home from work, you just want to relax, which you do. And then it's like, oh, well, let me do this and let me do that. So it's weird. Or I'm weird, either one. Deandra, energy surrounding the next shift in your love life. Let's see. The energy surrounding the next shift in your love life. Next, the energy around the next shift in Deandra's love life, divine spirit source God. All right. Knight of Cups. Wow. Hmm. You be busy during, yeah. Say the Magician at the bottom. The Empress at the top. Interesting. So the energy shift is like you might have manifested somebody that's more emotionally forthcoming, someone that is not afraid to like express their feelings or emotions or move with the heart, not always just like stuck in their head, or like moving from a place of defensiveness or fear, vulnerability. Like someone that is actually a romantic like you, someone that's not ashamed to feel love, or to show that they're interested, or show that they have a love for you, or not afraid to be affectionate even as well. So I feel like this is something that you're manifesting from a place of like what you believe or know that you deserve. Like from a healthy place of, I know this is what I need. I know this is what I deserve. A partner that's going to um nurture with me, nurture connection. Because when you think about the Empress, to me it's like very fertile energy, very like this beautiful garden, this very fruitful and abundant energy, whereas the Knight of Cups is that water, that fertile, like that nurtures and waters the garden. So it's contributing a safe energy, contributing a very loving, very compassionate energy. So that's what I feel like the next energy shift is, like you manifesting this energy from that place of self-love, self-worth. Like, I know this is what I deserve. I know this is what I want. Somebody that is going to be that safe space for me, someone that has the heart, that has the affection and the emotional capacity, that's what I'm getting from this. So beautiful. All right. I appreciate everybody on. Greetings. Okay. Then Miss Brianna's question, how is this Venus retrograde impacting your life? Then I do show Yamina and Mahogany's questions. You're welcome. Yeah, I love it too. It's beautiful. I like that. All right, let's see. Venus retrograde for Brianna. How is this energy going to impact your life? So this Venus retrograde, how is it going to impact that? Your life. How is this Venus retrograde? The Knight of Wands, bottom of the deck, Ten of Wands, the top of the deck, the Four of Cups. So how is it going to impact your life? You might be turned off by inconsistency in a way that if it feels like a burden or a chore to connect with someone, like it's taking more out of you than necessary, or what you feel you have to give, or what you feel is deserving. It's like if you find yourself being stressed out over, is this person gonna call me, are they gonna, it's like an inconsistent energy. Like one minute, oh, it feels like we're on the right page, we're on the right track, and it could be like someone that's very passionate, very, I feel like seemingly pursuant, like, or pursuing you, like it seems like they're pursuing you to an extent, but then there's some inconsistencies later, like, they're hot and heavy, let's link up, let's do this, and they're very romantic, they're very attentive, taking you places and taking you to meet their family, and then the next minute, like after that week, you don't hear from them, or you don't hear from them for a few days. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like the inconsistencies with the energy, like it seems like you're on the right track together, it seems like it's going somewhere, and then the next minute it's like you take 10 steps back. And it's like if it's more of a headache than it is a actual movement, actual pursuing, actual reliability, then I feel like you don't want anything to do with it. So there might be an energy like this where you're tired. It could be someone that you already have interacted in this type of manner, or like it's reminiscent of a connection that you've already been through, or many connections that you've had this type of dynamic with. And this person, like, is that last straw for you? Is that final, like, nah, I'm good. I don't want this, And it might be kind of a little bit of a challenge to maybe say, you know what, I'm actually done. I don't feel the need to continue to put any more effort into it, because it's like if you feel like your options are kind of like you only have a few options here in front of you, and it's like this one seems like the most juiciest option, or there's something about this person that you're more hopeful than the other options. It's like you might put up with a little bit more because you want to see where this goes. Whereas I feel like with this connection, it might be like a situation where this is the last straw. Like you don't want to go through this ever again, or you're done with this. Like you're really, really done with it. Like you don't have any more patience to give. You don't have any more grace to extend anymore. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what this is giving. Like it's going to help you break out of that. Yes. I truly believe that like where we're at in our journeys are quite similar, but like maybe different experiences, but like the what's required, or the level of mastery or the maturity level of where you are on your journey, it may resonate with each other, if that makes sense. So like Christina said, it is like a place of solitude and self mastery right now. No room for distractions. Like we ain't got no time for that right now. Really, like it's just you can't take that focus off of what's on your plate right now. You don't need that. Even if it feels tempting to, it's all gonna be worth it. I promise. On your journey. So, Yamina, your question is, what is happening in your love life or the lack thereof? Girl, not the lack thereof. I feel you. All right. Let's see. All right. Yamina. Oop, okay. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Top of the deck is the Devil. Okay. A lot of earth energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, literally. You have a Virgo card with the Ten of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is Taurus energy, and the Capricorn energy with the Devil. So you got all the Earth energies. So the lack thereof, I don't feel like it's a lack in the way that you think. Because it's interesting that you have these pentacles. So that means there is something that is growing, there is something that is building, there is something that you are cultivating. So it's not like it's a lack necessarily. It's not a lack. You might be going through a season right now where you're building in your life in general, where you're very close to, it's almost like you and your person could be at a place right now where um you're both at a place where you are cultivating and building something for yourselves, but at the same time it's going to be a joint effort, or it's going to be something where you guys come together and you collaborate, you bring all of those energies together, if that makes sense. So there's no lack on either side. It's just really timing. It's like the Seven of Pentacles is almost saying like whatever you're doing right now, it is growing, it is happening, you're very close. So it's not that you're out of the bounds of the timeline that you're supposed to be in, or that you're just not doing anything at all, there's nothing happening. Because if we look at things from a different perspective than what we're programmed to see things. So like a person could think they're abundant in love because they got all these people like trying to talk to them, or they go out on multiple dates, or they got side chicks and side dudes, or they got sneaky links or whatever. That doesn't mean you're abundant in love if the intimacy level is, that connection, that genuine connectedness is lacking, or it's not a connection that is really what you want deep down inside of your soul. Like you want a genuine connection. So though it may seem abundant because of the quantity level of the dating situation versus someone that may has absolutely no options right now, or seemingly no options, they don't have people like blowing them up, or they don't have sneaky links, they're not going on dates, it might seem like they're not abundant in love. But what if you're not lacking at all, because whatever it is that you're putting yourself in alignment with, and allowing yourself to receive, and allow yourself to be open to give that type of energy in exchange and show up for that type of connection, is actually abundance. Does that make sense? So that's kind of the vibe that I get from this. It is not a lack because there's nothing seemingly going on the physical sense, and it's not popping off in that way, but behind the scenes it's actually abundance, because what you're working through with yourself, what you're building for yourself, the strides, the growth, the evolution, the your ambitions that you have in your life, the things that you've been working through, the things that you've been actually excelling in, or things that you're initiating, like things that you have to be proud of on an internal level, and things that maybe in your material world that you're cultivating and creating and doing and striving, that you should be proud of. That's what I'm getting. So there's no lack here. Your love life is actually on track, because you're in that place of where you're steadily building and cultivating, and so is your person. And it's like when you guys come together, you join forces together, you have something that's really truly abundant. There's no lack at all. Together nor apart, there's no lack. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates. Let me know. But yeah. Let me read what Christina said, and then Mahogany, I'm gonna read you. Excuse me. We are meant to learn ourselves right now, let go of codependency tendencies, and rely on the self-validation. Exactly. Especially with this Aries energy. Let's take that energy on. It speaks to you a lot. Women bragged about having so many men pursuing them while I've been self-focused, but now they got ghosted after intimacy. I'm glad that they missed. Yeah. It's not to shame people, because I feel like we all have to learn, and experience what we're supposed to experience. But I feel like sometimes like people pay attention to like what feeds the ego. It's not, and I had this thought today. I had this feeling and thought where like I notice people always celebrate when somebody is like let's say someone is publicly being acknowledged, does something big, and it's not to say that it's to take away from that, but like a person that gets praised for something that they do, like, oh, so and so made it on TV, or oh, so and so is in the newspaper, oh, so and so has millions of followers, and blah blah blah. Like, we celebrate that that aspect of people's journey, whereas the people that are maybe going through certain growing pains or quote unquote small victories that don't get celebrated as much because it's not the quantity. It's not based off of public standing and public, approvals and standards and popularity contests. So it's like if it's just a thing that seems minor or seems like, oh, that's no big deal. You know what I mean? It gets overlooked when it's like every part of the journey where you excel and grow, just even if it's something that you perceive as small, it's really not on the grand scheme of things. I'm trying my best to, explain or try to convey what I'm saying. But let's say a person that has struggled with alcohol addiction finally decides that they're going to get that checked. They're going to sign up for the health treatment that they need, or maybe even the mental health treatments that they need to break that addiction, right? And some people might be happy that they're doing it, but there's no celebration because that's not easy. Addiction's not easy for people. Um, could be someone leaving a toxic situation. Instead of saying, I'm proud of you, I'm glad you did that, that was very brave, or you stood up to a bully, I'm brave, like, I'm proud of you, like telling the child, I'm proud of you that you did that. Instead of doing that, it's like we only, oh, if you get good grades, or oh, if you're on the honor roll, or people don't know how to celebrate other people's wins, no matter what it looks like, outside of the quantity of the of that thing, versus just as a human going through life and striving and pushing and making the changes necessary for self, or being someone that has matured and outgrown certain things that they once struggled with, right? And celebrating the self sometimes, like, celebrate those things. You don't need the approval and the praise of the crowd to approve of yourself, and that's not easy as a human. Hey sis, I had this conversation with a friend the other night. I love car conversations. Like, me and a friend, we were having this conversation, and she said something that, it was very simplistic, but it was felt deeply. So, like, she said something where, trying to, like, kind of paraphrase it, and I almost just lost what I was about to say. But what she said was along the lines of, when it comes to, like, your social standing, or like seeking approval even as an adult, because she was like, I still haven't fully mastered accepting the fact that you're not for everyone. um she's trans, so in the work field, that or just work spaces, not everybody is respectful and accepting or embracing of trans people. And she was saying that, she maneuvers in that space and having to remind herself that she's not going to be accepted by everybody, right? Not everybody is going to embrace her as she is, or as she presents herself, as she identifies herself, right? And that's a part of you validating your own self sometimes, as a social being, as a community engineered person, like community, family minded, personal relationship minded beings that we are, to be okay to self approve, and not even gaslight yourself into thinking that you're delusional or you're wrong for that, or you're cocky or you're conceited, to self validate yourself. That is, if it's in a healthy way, if it's in a harmless way to others and to yourself, that is truly how you feel, how you see yourself, it's okay. Especially if you've been gaslit all of your life, or you feel like you've had to perform or be something or somebody else, to validate yourself is a struggle sometimes, but it is also a rewarding thing when you finally do accept yourself. And there might be times where you still, question, like, is it me? Is it something I said? Is it something I'm doing? To fully just embrace and accept yourself. So take this Aries season energy to really work through that or continue to work through it, because there might be different levels and layers of it. And I'm gonna be honest, every time I go into a social space that is new for me, and I feel like this might just be a human thing, I'm not one of those people that just walk up to people and just talk to everybody. I can smile and say hello to people in passing, but I'm not someone that tries to make friends with everybody. That's not me. I don't feel like that's organic. I feel like it's important to naturally build relationships and connections as long as you're open and receptive to people. But I'm not one of those people that just, I'm not one of them. So at times I would shame myself for that and be like, oh, I'm not the type that just walks up and just talks to everybody. Like, that's just not me. And I used to struggle with shyness. I don't feel like it's necessarily that I'm shy. It's just necessarily that if I don't resonate with certain things, or if I don't feel called or led to insert myself in certain situations or conversations or social dynamics, I'm not going to do it if it doesn't feel organic to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's certain acceptance. And I know that sometimes people will misread that as you are closed off, or you're stuck up, or you're standoffish. And I understand, like, but that's misinterpretation. And I've also learned that, yes, some people might not have the capacity or even want to get to know you because they're allowing that to get in their way, or those judgments to get in their way of getting to know a person, versus people that genuinely want to connect with you. And I feel like those are connections where you're meant to, like, if you can break that ice. Because truth be told, like, there's always going to be someone that you're probably going to be intimidated by, or not able to really read, or not sure, or you misunderstand, or they misunderstand you or misjudge you. But if the connection is meant to form and build, it will. And that's like in any social situation, whether it's friendships, whether it's business, coworkers, whether that's family dynamics of family you don't know, they might be a stranger to you, even though you're family, or dating situations. You have to be okay with who embraces you and vice versa. And if they don't, then they're not for you. It's all good. It's okay. As long as you're being your authentic self. If they don't, especially by being your authentic self, if they do not embrace you, it is not for you. And that's okay. All right. Last but not least. But yeah, Christina, thank you for that. Let's tap into mahogany. Reading, sis. What do you need to know right now to stay aligned with your purpose and expansion? All right. Let's tap in. I didn't mean to use the after tarot, but I'm going to. I got two decks up here. I had the mahogany tarot, and then I had the after tarot. I don't know. I'm just gonna use this one because I don't know. It's weird. So use it. We're just gonna use them. All right. Mahogany's question: does she stay aligned with her purpose and expansion? Knight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. Top of the deck is the Empress. All right now. So how do you stay aligned with your purpose and expansion? Whatever's in your way, like, it's kind of like a mindset of whatever is in your way. It doesn't have to be people. It could be circumstances, it could be a situation, it could be an environment, it could be a thought process within yourself, a belief, anything that's kind of standing in the way of you moving forward and ahead. It's kind of like you have to consistently learn to kind of like move, like tell it to get the fuck out of my way, basically. Like, get out of my way. Like, I don't have time. Like, no, you're not getting in the way of this. My movement, my goal, my focus, you in the way. You got to go. Like, and sometimes it does take telling yourself to, like, a part of yourself that tries to minimize you, tries to limit you, or tries to get you to second guess yourself, to be like, you know what, bitch, like, I don't know what this is, but we're not taking this. Like, this is not going forward with us. This is not the mindset we need to have. I'm not living in that place of limitations. If there's anything inside of me that tells me, oh, well, what if this and what if that? If you need to be a little bit more compassionate to that inner voice instead of being like, bitch, quiet down, get out of my way. It's more so like, you know what? That is something to consider. Yes, that is a valid point to be in fear, or to be in doubt, or to be insecure. But I don't live there anymore. I'm not going to move in that energy. And I also get to with the Page of Cups, you might need to use that compassionate energy as you grow and as you expand rather than being very harsh with yourself or other people or other environments. So for example, this energy being used like, okay, this relationship is not for me, rather than being mad, being bitter, just being like, you know what, some things work for others, some things don't work for others, some things we can get along and agree with, and some things we have to disagree with at times, or some people are for you, some people are not, some environments, or everything has its season and its time. Some things are not meant to be a lifelong season, some things are just, or lifelong experiences, some things are just meant to be seasons, they're just temporary experiences. Coming from that place of acceptance and compassion and an open heart is far more powerful than being like, fuck this, I'm angry, oh, being bitter. Like, it's, you're allowing that to take power and control over you, your mind and your heart and your future, because you're stuck in that. So with the Empress card as well, it's like there's no loss, there's no lack, you know. I only have more to gain. If something is not for me, if it's in the way, or if it's something I need to release and let go of, I'm making space for what is for me. I'm making space for something new, something blessed to come about. There is no loss. There is no lack. It just ain't it. It just ain't it no more. It's just not. It's not where it's at no more. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting. Very short and sweet. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Much love. All right, y'all. So these were kind of like straight to the point, short and sweet. We're going to get right into the collective reading, and then we're going to do our ritual. So this theme is very fitting. Let me put these cards over here. Not sure what, I mean, I know for sure I want to use the Oshun Oracle. I know that for a fact, that this is the deck that I'm going to use for the Oracle. It's Oshun energy over here, child. Yes. So I have the Oshun Oracle, the Faces of Oshun. I'm not familiar with this deck because it's new. So I will keep the guidebook on the side for us, because I love this deck creator. If any of you have ever seen the African Goddess Rising Oracle, or the Oracle of the Ancestors, I believe it's called, by Ebola Abrams, I love her decks. I have the African Rising, or African Queen, or African Goddess Rising, and the Oracle of the Ancestors, and now the Faces of Oshun. I love her decks. I love the meanings that she has in her guidebooks. I also love, like, when she has affirmations. So in this one, she does have affirmations. Sometimes she has shadow and light attribute meanings in some of her decks. I love that as well. Very detailed guidebooks. So I do consider and I do honor certain guidebooks because they do help, you know. I also appreciate the system of certain decks as well. So the guidebook is always good to have and handy, of course, alongside with your intuition. But we're going to use the Faces of Oshun. And then I'm going to use the tarot. I think I'm just going to use the mahogany, possibly the after tarot as well. All right, I need my timestamp. So let's do that. We are at, I think, I can't see. Hold on. 33. Okay. All right, so let's get into the collective read. So this is going to be an energy. It is connecting with the Venus retrograde energy and its layers of self-love and self-acceptance. So this spread is the beauty within spread. And this is just to assist with shifting the way that we view ourselves, our self-image, our beauty internally and externally, any type of blockages or hindrance that we have around how we view ourselves and our self-love. This is for you. Okay. All right. So let's tap into the energy. So what is being reevaluated in our self-images and self-worth? And this is very fitting, considering the fact, like, this is so divinely timed, like I said in the beginning. I postponed this for my energy rest, not knowing that the lunar, or I think it's the solar, sorry, the solar eclipse was coming up this weekend. If not tonight, then tomorrow, I believe, on the 29th. So, and it's also in the season of Aries. And Aries is all about the first house, the self. So this is perfect. Perfect. All right. So lessons for us during this Venus retrograde. What is being reevaluated in our self images and self worth as a collective that we can resonate with in our own unique way? All right. Thank you, Divine Spirit, for divine guidance, truth, and clarity. Whoa. King of Cups flew out, but I don't know if he wanted to come out in reverse or not. We'll consider that. So what is being reevaluated in our self-image and self-worth? I hate to say the word trigger warning, but the phrase trigger warning, but I'm gonna have to do that because some of these messages, like if you're not someone that takes tarot from a self-reflective place and you take it as like, oh, I'm just reading, or I'm here to hear my future, and I only want to hear what I want to hear, and I only want to hear a traditional meaning of a tarot deck or what I've been taught tarot is. This is not the message nor the channel for you, honey, because this message is going to probably tap into some father wounds. Okay, so the root of the way that you view yourself, whether that be in a positive way that was supportive of your image or the lack of support in your image and how you view yourself as a person and the beauty that you see in yourself. If that energy was not poured into you, you are naturally going to seek that outside of yourself from someone in the form of that father type figure, that masculine figure energy, whether it's in the form of a male or a female, doesn't matter. Seeking that support, that love, that compassion, that affection, that attentiveness, that, I see you, you're beautiful, you're precious to me, you're safe, that daddy protective energy. If that is not something that you receive, whether your father was physically present or not, there might have been some lack in that pouring into you. So this is the energy that I feel like is calling you to reevaluate your image through that particular connection. Use that connection, use that figure, that person, as a reflection to self-evaluate maybe why you struggle to see your inner beauty, why you struggle to see your self-worth and value at times. And there's nothing wrong with seeking validation from those that you love, in a sense of it's natural to want to be poured into. So if you never heard a father figure tell you, baby girl or son, I love you, or, you're great, or you're special, or to feel that protection, to feel like you're precious to them, that time that was needed to be spent with you. Maybe they worked all the time. Maybe they prioritized other relationships or chasing after women or men, um, or just being selfish, chasing their own gains and didn't have time for you, or they couldn't be in your life. Maybe a parental figure kind of blocked that relationship between you and this person, or this father figure. Um, yeah, let's see. What else? Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Someone that withheld something of value that you need and you deserve. And as a result of that, it might reflect times, or if not this time in your life, where you withhold giving certain things of value. If you have your own children, it can also manifest itself there, or you realize that this is something that you need to work through, or that you are working through. um I feel like this was some sort of like voidant energy, like someone didn't give the things, that the seeds that you needed to grow very young. The words of affirmation, the time, the patience, the effort, the protection, that love that you needed. And sometimes, even if it's not coming from a malicious place or intent, a parental figure can feel like they're doing everything right and giving as much as they can give from the best of their ability or their understanding, or maybe from their own upbringing level. This is how you parent. This is how you show up in love, where it might have been something that you know wasn't what you needed, wasn't exactly healthy or coming from a place of fullness. Even if that wasn't their intent to not give that or be that for you, it still happened, right? And there might be a little bit of grace that you can extend with that. 7 of Wands. Yeah, it feels like I don't have time for you, or there is no affection, no hugs, no kisses or telling you I love you, or if it was just kind of very short. Some sort of energy block. Like, I feel for some of you, it wasn't entirely because this person just didn't want to, if that at all. It might have been like circumstances, separation, um, parental rights, or no parental rights at all. Another parental figure blocking this person, or not knowing, how to reach you, how to see you, or this person literally could have been incarcerated, or I don't know why I'm getting like in another country. Um, Spirit could have blocked this person from being in your life because of what they had going on. Their lifestyle may have not been healthy for a child or a young adult. Um, hmm. All right, I'm gonna ask the Oshun, Mama Oshun, what is the reevaluation of the self-image or beauty? It might be like you have a hard time opening up to people. You don't really feel safe sometimes, or like certain types of people, or certain type of connections, or certain levels of connection. Maybe you're very comfortable with opening up to friends, but you're not safe to open up with family or with a partner, a romantic partner. It's like, or you get along more so with women than men, or vice versa. You get along, or seemingly get along more so with men than you do women, or something. It's like there's some sort of energy block, and it's because you don't feel safe. So you have number 19 with Oshun, floods, spite, malice, revenge. Yeah, so this is an energy that I feel like I'm also getting a little bit of Oya energy too. But this is an energy that is being cleansed out. So it might come through as anger. It might come out as spite and revenge, or feeling like I want to just get back at this person, or get back at somebody that hurt me. And it's coming up as an emotional clearance, because I would hope that you don't, but I don't feel like you're going to act upon it. I feel like it's an energy that's almost like a spiritual vomit. You gotta purge this out of your system. You gotta let it out, and it could come out through a lot of heavy emotions, if not tears of anger, upset. Um, yeah. I want to see what this card means. Number 19. 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. So it says, I channel my darker emotions into growth and healing. The imitation or initiation of shadows says, tread carefully in both action and emotion. When Oshun Flood appears, she doesn't tiptoe around your feelings. She's here to tell you bluntly, harboring spite, malice, and revenge drowns your spirit and clouds your judgment. It's human to feel these emotions, but letting them control you will lead to your own undoing. Stop wallowing in bitterness and resentment. It's unproductive and self destructive. What to do now? Take a hard look in the mirror, address your feelings, and heal them. The world owes you nothing, but you owe it to yourself to rise above the flood and find higher ground. If someone is being spiteful towards you, protect your emotional well being. Establish clear boundaries to ensure you are not continuously exposed to harmful intentions. These boundaries can be in the form of reducing contact, seeking support, or practicing assertive communication. You have the choice and the right to prioritize your peace and emotional health over getting entangled in a whirlwind of negativity. So this is actually Oba, I believe. Yeah, Oba in this card. It says, one tell envy towards Oba, Shango's first wife, overtakes Oshun. Oba seeks Oshun's advice on making a special dish for their shared husband. Shango Oshun deviously wears a scarf to hide her ears and includes a mushroom resembling an ear in her dish for Shango, who loves it. To compete, Oba uses her own ear in a dish for Shango, but he is disgusted and rejects the meal. Oshun laughs at Oba's mishap. So this is like the tell, the tale of caution, or cautionary tale, I should say, um, of when you kind of like when you lower yourself and when you play the game in that shadow energy of hurt and pain, it ends up being something that backfires on you. You have to use your discernment. Um, Also, too, some of you guys like be mindful of this time of like being baited into arguments, being baited into drama. Okay. So what are the illusions that you're breaking about your beauty within yourself or just externally? What false narratives or conditions need to be released around how you view yourself? What false narratives or conditioning needs to be released when it comes to how you view yourself? What false narratives or conditioning needs to be released? Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess, but one more, the Star. There might be something that you tell yourself that you can't do, or that you're not. Like, I can't do this because like you might be someone that might you might be what it could be like who other people consider is like, no, it might be a unconventional type of look about you. You might feel like, or you tell yourself, because you might compare yourself to like what people are told is beautiful or attractive, or only if you look like this will you succeed, or in only people that look like this or shape like this or act this way will get a partner or will be accepted in life. And you're meant to stand out. And I feel like one of the things that you might struggle with the most is the fact that some of you, it could be quite the opposite, where you feel like you've had to overextend or overdo, give so much or show too much of yourself, whether that's physically like showing too much of your body. um it could be, I don't know, like either showing too much of your body, or um feeling like you need to just share too much and give too much of yourself. Like, oh, if I'm just extra nice, or if I'm extra loud, or if I'm extra this, or it's like doing a lot. And then some of it is you feel like it's a problem if you hold something sacred to yourself, or you keep certain things about you hidden or secret or protected, that there's something about it that's boring. Or um some of you may feel like you need to cloak yourself because you feel like if you were to show your authentic self, that it will not be accepted. And this actually could be blocking your blessings when it comes to being seen. And sometimes being loud to be seen is not the way to go either, right? So you can be your authentic self and be bold in just your energy and be seen, versus feeling like you need to overcompensate or give too much or to show too much, or um you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. And I hate to use this phrase, but it's like, in a world full of bad bitches, you know, be your authentic self. And what I mean by a bad bitch, not in the sense of like a woman that's in her power, you know, a person that's in their power, that knows themselves, that is assertive, that is bold and not afraid, versus like someone that is taught a bad bitch is someone that is sexually promiscuous, or someone that doesn't have any type of self-control over herself or her life, or is chasing attention and chasing bags and heels and cars, and that's her whole motive in life. She's driven by materialism, she's driven by her lust of the flesh, you know, her vanity, or his or her vanity. So, you know, there's something different about the way that you carry yourself. And I feel like sometimes in this world, it might be a pressure to, you know, be someone that you're not, you know, or feel like what you represent or who you are, where you come from is not enough, or it's something to be shameful of, or, you know, your hair or your body weight, or, you know, Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a real topic too, Christina. When it comes to cultural expression, some people are accepting of it and some people are not. Um, so especially in a environment such as like corporate world where they tell you that your natural hair is inappropriate for work or it's unprofessional, that's that is something that I feel like is very challenging. And even, when it comes to, and I have to bring this up because it is very real and it might make people uncomfortable. I have to be honest. Um, when it comes to skin tone and complexion, we have to be honest, globally, that is an issue. That definitely when it comes to beauty, when it comes to what's in media, what's on film, TV, magazines, and it's not to say that everybody wants to be on TV and be in magazines. That's not the point, but the conditioning, the social conditioning that it has on people, children to adults, right? Have this conditioning, even if they don't see it, sometimes to believe that the more paler the skin, the more classier, the more trustworthy, the more nicer, the more beautiful, the more handsome. But sometimes it's quite the opposite, that masculinity is usually marketed as darker skinned and femininity is usually something that is promoted as a lighter tone, lighter skin or fair skin. So like for people psychologically being told that they're not attractive or seeing, and maybe not even coming out of their own mouth, but every time you turn on the TV, the person that's like the one that's the smartest, the one that's the most successful, that has the nice things, is the lighter tone person, and the one that's like the ghetto one, the loud one, or the one that doesn't have as much, or just like the sidekick, or you know their clothing is not as classy, and you know what I mean? It could be like real, just, like, what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to say it. It's how you present it, right? Because symbolism is everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting. Like, sometimes it's a struggle, like, especially if you don't see yourself on TV being represented well, or you don't see yourself in magazines being represented well, or in, cartoons even, and commercials and ads. You don't see yourself being celebrated or being represented as the one that is classy or successful, or the love interest even. It's either promiscuity or something to do with low class of some sort, or ghetto, lack, don't have nothing, to reprogram that. And when a world walks around with that stereotype or that view of you, and it's like you have to prove of yourself. And this is the thing that I don't understand about, you know, and it's tough because I've noticed this a lot too, that if your energy is not something that's a stereotypical view of a race, some people don't know how to take you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is how all black, either you're a black woman that is like this, or you're a black woman like that's like this, or you're a Latino woman or Latino man or whatever that acts like this, or black men only act this way, or blah, there's these stereotypes. And if you don't fit into that, they don't know how to place you. They don't know how to take you, um, in life, just life experiences. And again, that fight within yourself to say, I'm either going to conform, or I allow myself to stand firm in who I am. I can conform and shapeshift into somebody and try to fit in the world. And sometimes you feel like that's what you got to do to survive, especially in workplaces. Or you feel like in the dating world, you got to be this. And the experiments, I don't know if y'all have ever seen these experiments where women said, you like black women specifically, your hairstyle attracts different types of men. And that is true. It does. It really does. The response is very different when you wear like natural hair, and the whole politics around natural hair too. Some natural hair is accepted versus some natural hair isn't. Some natural hair states are more acceptable than others, right? The more kinkier, the less attractive and accepted it is to some people, right? So like you're walking around with like, I don't know, when people say, "Oh, just wear your natural hair," and if it's too kinky, it's too curly, it's too poofy, it's not curly and it's not loose, then it's not good enough, right? And so again, like if you don't have a strong mind of yourself and you don't see the beauty in your own self, it's going to be a challenge to walk around in this life because things are always changing. If you don't view yourself and validate your own self as beautiful, because I feel like this card speaks volumes to me. Her afro, the star card within itself, it's like she's the star of the show. I love like Pam Grier movies. Like some of them are very cheesy, but I love her as an actress, and I think she's gorgeous. And I like the representation to an extent. Like they overly sexualized her a lot in her movies, but um, she played a lot of leading roles. And there was another woman that I think her name was Christy Love. The show was called Christy Love. A leading role, and it was women that wore their natural hair. They wore their afros, and they were leading. You know, they didn't have to conform. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that I feel like is empowering for a woman in general, but for a black woman to say, I can wear my natural hair, I can wear however I want, because this is the thing. If you've ever experienced, the whole, oh, wear your natural hair. Oh, if you wear your hair straight, you don't want to be yourself. But it's like, we'll pick and choose. Like you got a problem with whatever we do. So what does it matter? Just do you, boo, right? Just be you. But the thing as a woman as a whole, right? As a human, but as a woman, most definitely, when the world is telling you constantly that you're not beautiful after a certain age, or you're only beautiful if, or your weight has to be this, and then the next season your weight is, you're either thick or you need to be thin, or you have a big booty, don't have a big booty anymore, or you know to just be you and to understand that beauty comes in so many variations. It's just, beauty is not only just one look. It's not just blonde hair. It's not just blue eyes or thin straight hair or big lips or big booties or no big booty, or it's big boobs, no big boobs. It's not limited to just one thing. You know what I mean? Like, or just one face structure. Oh, this is a perfect face. If your face is shaped like this, like what? You know, it's not. You can see beauty in anything, in everybody, if you just you just get out of the program, because so many people are so programmed. It's so sad. They don't even realize it. So sad. um but you got Oshun overflows. So number 4, it says generosity, wealth, auspicious blessings. And there's different forms of women, different beauty types, different hair colors, different skin tones. Like they don't all look alike. And this is to embrace the many layers of yourself, and being comfortable too, because when you embrace yourself, it's easy for you to be able to embrace others, or without needing the feeling the need to tear yourself down and uplift other people, like, oh, you're so pretty but I'm not, or you're so this and I'm not, or being like, I have to be the only attractive one in the room, let me tear somebody else down and feel good. When you really love yourself, you're able to not only embrace yourself, but you can embrace others as well, or not only just embrace others, but you also have learned to embrace yourself too. So it says, prosperity flows freely to me and through me. So this is the initiation of gold. It says it's about to get really good. Your present and future projects are blessed, and your prosperity is in your hands. Oshun overflows signals of a season of plenty expected, financial gains, plus an increase in love, happiness, and other forms of abundance. Let the blessings flow. The divine is generous and abundant, and now is a great time for you to be too. Oshun overflows reminds you to also be grateful for what you already have. The more you accept your present gifts, the more they multiply. You have now activated the energy of prosperity and gratitude. Now is about sustaining and multiplying it. Allow divine wisdom to guide you in recognizing and sharing the abundant blessings that surround you. Whether it's helping someone in need or investing in your own growth, make conscious choices to keep the cycle of riches going. Abundance is a two-way street. Allow yourself to give and receive, knowing that you are worthy. Okay. So, with that message, thank you, Black Diamond. I appreciate that. Thank you. So with that message, I do feel like there's this energy, there's enough to go around. I am blessed if I just allow myself to see that and what I already have and who I am. And I feel like if there wasn't, like, you don't know, like, by you embracing yourself, what that will do to help someone else embrace themselves, you know? By embracing all that you are and not turning that down because you're created the way that you were for a reason. And it is about coming into acceptance of who you are. And the more you accept yourself, the more you actually attract people. Sometimes we think it's about a look or having to play a role, have a part, but really when you embrace your authentic self, like, people that have the eyes to see that will embrace you and will celebrate you. So that's the thing. Let me let this fucking yeah, it's like, so interruptions, like when I'm trying to read, oh, get the dogs. Like, can y'all just get the dogs? No, I was frustrated. I had to get the door, let the dog in, because they would not allow me to just read without banging on my door to let the dog in. Like, it's that serious. Like, she doesn't need to come in here right now. It's not gonna hurt her. So wait. But alrighty. So let's see. How can you embrace your true essence? So what can you do? I am not necessarily, I'm not going over the current transits right now, but just kind of tapping into the energy and how it's affecting us as far as self-worth, self-love, beauty, self-image. So let's tap into how can you embrace your true essence in a collective way that we can all resonate in our own unique way. I see the star again. Ooh, she's at the bottom of the deck. Again, these cards did not want to go back. So, ooh, okay. Wow. Okay, Hierophant. Let me move these out the way. Three of Pentacles. The Fool. Three of Pentacles. The Empress. And the Temperance. A lot of major arcana cards. So, out of the 6, you have 4 majors. So I feel like you are learning how to fully embrace yourself, your gifts, your worth, your value, your beauty as a person in general. Just not just physically, but also energetically, internally embracing yourself. I don't feel like it's a matter of you not seeing something that it's like you see yourself, but it's embracing it comes from you having the confidence to show up in the way that you see yourself. Does that make sense? Because I feel like when you work through this, and it might be something professional that this could be something that is affecting your, or either affecting or going to benefit, I should say, more so it's both. But like, it's going to definitely benefit your creative self. It's going to effectively improve your professional life when you really see or I should say embrace all that you are and what you bring to the table, like knowing that for a fact, not doubting that, um not being fake humble about it with yourself, like, oh, it's nothing. Being like, no, this is me. It's nothing wrong with that. And I also feel too like the more you, when you do, I should say, when you do fully say, fuck it, this is me, because there is a bit of a trailblazer energy from this with the Fool. Like, you are free from any strings of being like this puppet that the world wants you to be, or that people feel like they have to succumb to being all these titles, all these labels, and they have to be this way, they have to talk this way, they have to dress this way, they have to live like this, instead of being authentic to the soul core of yourself, who you came here to be. Because not a lot of people are walking in who they are called to be. They're walking in what society, what the media, what a lot of people are not living in their truth. So you have to understand this, and you might understand it because if you walk in the truth of just being yourself, even at times where you don't even recognize your gifts yet, or recognize the essence that you carry as a person, that if you're someone that is not living in that box, that there are people that are not going to understand you. There's people that are going to reject you and shun you out, or maybe even try to make you feel some way about yourself, or tell you that you need to be something different, or you're weird, or you know that that instead of including you, it's that, excluding you. And I feel that it's an acceptance that that's going to happen at times, but to know that when you fully walk in that boldly with that awareness of who you are, it's going to also align people that will also celebrate you, and those that may already be in your life that know who you are, that already celebrate you. It's like some people already see it, but it's just like, do you see it though? Do you see it? Because you are fully supported in your walking in your journey. You have been, even at the times where you feel like you've walked alone and you had nobody or no one understands you. That's not true. And you have a purpose, you have a calling. Some of you guys may have encountered angelic spirits before, like, and know that you have. Know for sure for a fact that you've encountered an angelic spirit before. Um, some of you may have had near death experiences. Yeah, some of you guys might have had near death experiences, or um you've had very very life altering experiences, to where that there's something for you here. There's more to your life. Like, it's not your time to go, or you might have contemplated not being here anymore, and something may have stopped you or caught you off guard, or you've gone through this. And I talked about this personally for me in my journey, like going through periods of not wanting to be here, and it just didn't feel natural to me. um it was like a spiritual attack on me to give up and leave, in a way where it just, I knew that it wasn't really coming from a place inside of me that really wanted that. I feel like it was that, just this hopelessness, and like being tired, and like something on you and weighing on you and eating at you. And I'll never forget, one of my good friends was like, when you started telling me about it and you started talking like that, I seen this energy like hovering over you, and I didn't like it. So it's like spiritual attacks even on you that make you have to wonder, you have to really, really, really wonder, in such a dark society that we live in, that praises vanity and materialism and capitalism, and patriarchal um wars, and just when I say patriarchal wars, like attacks, spiritual attacks, not just physical and governmental and things like that, but all of those spiritual energetic attacks. You have to wonder, in a world like this where evil is pretty much celebrated, for the most part, wickedness, um celebrity of look at me, the vanity, the praise, the worship, because really the idea of celebrity really to me is like a demonic energy, because it promotes self glory and in a way of people worshiping you, and the obsession with fame and money and clothes, like materialism, right? The obsession with this energy, people celebrating that versus people celebrating people that actually make changes in the world, or people that want to make changes in the world, or allegedly taking people out of this earth that may try to help with health, medicine, speaking truth, exposing darkness. Those people get attacked. So you have to wonder, a person that is not conforming to the world, the system, why you would get attacked, why would you get excluded, why why you don't fit in. And it's not because there's something wrong with you or you're not, you're nothing, it's not that. It's the very opposite of that. Very opposite. There's something about you. And if you don't know that for yourself, it's easy to break down and just say, oh, what was me? I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. And sometimes that happens also too, like it's allowed to happen. Those spiritual attacks are meant to happen or allowed to happen to you to strengthen you so that you do get online and click and say, no, I see what's up. I wouldn't be attacked if there wasn't something about me. What is it about me that contributes to this world in a powerful way, in a way that is here to promote positive shifts and changes, that is meant to awaken or to inspire or to help or to heal or to encourage others? What is it about my assignment here on this planet? I'm not just here just to be here. There's more to this than that. So sometimes those things happen or are allowed to happen so that you get online with your purpose. Do I think the country's under a spiritual attack? To an extent, yes, and I do feel like it's warranted. It's warranted. There's a lot of, I would say, not so much a spiritual attack, but just like under a demonic spell that is breaking, if that makes sense. There's a lot of evil in this country over the time and over the years that wasn't originally here, you know, and some of that energy and that spiritual debt has to be paid off. So, I mean, some of it is warranted, if you ask me personally. That's just what I. Foreign entities and energies in this country that have brought their demonic systems, into play. And anything that does happen, it's also for, dismantling the spell, dismantling the evil, and also that evil being having to pay the price for what they've done. That's what I'm getting from, if this country is under spiritual attack, that is my answer to that. All right. All right. So, how to embrace your energy more, yourself more, how to embrace that more. Let's tap in. Oshun's tears, grief, loss, and heartbreak. Number 27. If I'm not mistaken, one of Oshun's animal totems is also a falcon. Or no, not a falcon. Oof. What's that bird called? A vulture. But I love the story, and I don't know if they're going to talk about. I'm sure that she put that story about Oshun, how the people of the land were trying to like shun her out, almost like they didn't need her. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to push her out. Um, yeah, they were trying to push her out, and she was like, "All right, cool, bet." These waters and these waters is not gonna flow without me here. So I'm gonna let y'all handle that. Good luck to you. The best of luck. And it's so prophetic too, because it's like the gender wars, and people just being disrespectful to the mother energy in so many ways. I'm not even going to get too deep into that, but just I'm gonna just keep it just keep it basic here. Like, to think that, like, you gonna disrespect with the divine mother, like, how did you get here? Like, you thought you just came here out your own, like, you thought that, right? It's just so funny to me, and I feel like that's why the idea of a sky daddy, God being a male energy, a male figure, is palatable to a lot of people because of the patriarchal society. The idea that there could even be a divine mother is just like the furthest thing, and God forbid that. Like, what? No, not a woman. That's lesser than us. But it's like you playing with yourself, because how did you get here? If she doesn't give birth to you, you're not going to exist. You can't give birth to yourself, you know? So I just find it funny. I find it ironic. But let's get into I'm gonna read this real quick. Call him that man. Call him that man, girl. All right, number 27. So it says, in my morning, I find the seeds of healing and transformation. Initiation of rivers. It says Oshun's tears appears as a comforting presence during times of loss, grief, and emotional pain. She's not an energy to fear. Instead, she's a goddess to embrace as a sign that you have divine permission to grieve, to feel, and to heal. The vulture that accompanies her is a powerful symbol reminding us that from death and loss come renewal and transformation. It is okay not to be okay. Whether you are mourning a relationship, a lost opportunity, or a part of yourself, your feelings are valid. Oshun's tears invite you to release these emotions as an essential part of the healing process by embracing your sorrow and facing your grief head on. You allow space for the healing light to enter. The tears you shed are like the rain that waters the seeds of renewal, ensuring that new growth and transformation will follow. Through these healing waters, you'll find the strength to rebuild and begin again. Out of pain often comes healing and a rebirth of the spirit. Okay. So allow yourself to, as you walk through that embracing of yourself and who you are, or even opening yourself to receive what that is, like, who am I? Allow yourself to grieve all the times or the experiences where you felt that you were rejected, that you felt or thought you weren't enough, or someone may have told you or made you feel that you were not enough, or an experience or an opportunity that didn't come had you question that, had you believe that you were not enough, to go through that process. Um, all right. So, what guidance does Venus have for us on self-love? Like, what's the message? I'm going to use the after tarot now. Okay. Divine essence of Venus. What is the guidance on our self-love that we haven't encountered already, or maybe need to be reminded of? Eight of Wands, Six of Wands, King of Swords, Nine of Cups. When you let go of a certain level of permission, because not everybody is at the same level of seeking acceptance. So there could be some level of seeking that, kind of waiting for that approval to do, whether it's I'll wait until this happens in my life, or until I reach this, then I'll feel like I can accept myself. Or, I can't say that unless, my dad comes back and tells me this, or says this specific thing, or hugs me, or, or until a man or a woman comes into my life and says I'm their everything. Something where you're waiting for an external experience, situation, or person to to be that thing that says, okay, now you can. Oh, I'm gonna wait till my 30th birthday, for me to feel like, okay, I'm that person, I'm on that level, or when I'm 40 or whatever. It's not gonna work that way. It is a now thing. When I say now, like not at this very moment now, but when you are at that place where it's natural to you, that's when it's gonna happen. Um, because like no one is gonna crown you. No one's gonna crown you. And as long as you're looking up for a hero or somebody to be like, yeah, I approve of you. Or this experience, okay, I crown you. Oh, you got it now. You got the ring. You got the job. You got that money in your bank account. You got those followers. You got that car. Or your dad finally sent you a birthday card. When you let those things go, and it's not to say that it's wrong for you to desire that per se, because your heart is wanting something. But you got to know that the biggest lesson here on this earth, self-love, is the biggest thing that's going to carry you through many lessons, if not all of them. If you don't value yourself, it, your lessons are going to constantly remind you to value yourself. And it's going to feel like punishment at times when you're unaware. And it's not to say that every lesson is like, oh, you don't love yourself enough. Oh, this. It might be that, oh, it's time to exercise that love that you have for yourself now. It's time to exercise this. This might be a new playing field where somebody's playing in your face. Are you gonna tell them? You gonna be honest? You gonna speak up for yourself? So it's not to say that you don't have it or you don't exercise it, but it's like in certain moments, are you gonna show up for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna show up? Are you gonna speak up for yourself? Are you gonna walk away from the things that are not for you? You're gonna say, you know what? This is not the table for me. I'm gonna get up and exit and push my chair in very gracefully, get up from this table and walk away. Sometimes it's just, how much do I love myself is really the question in a lot of situations. I tell you, from what I've experienced, like the things that we don't think have anything to do with self-love, it does. You know, having to exit and say, you know what? I don't know where this chapter is going to lead me, but I'm not happy here. I'm stressed out. My energy is spent. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I feel like I'm not being respected. I don't feel like I can grow here. It's time for me to leave. Or I can thug it out and stay and be miserable. Self love says, no, I don't deserve this shit. Moving on. Goodbye. So that's pretty much the gist of your journey. If you don't have self love, you don't know your worth or your value, you're going to constantly be in this place of, okay, I got to wait for this. I need approval. I need this. I need that. Or you're just going to allow yourself to stay in things you don't deserve. And that's just what it is. So, all right. Next question. How will, oh wait, I got to pull an Oshun card. I pull Oshun. All right. Yeah, all you gotta do is just hide user, Christina. Hide user from channel or whatever it says. All right. Oshun. Get on. All right. Nobody got time to read that. And that right there is my testament to what I've been saying. Attacks. All right. Message from Venus on self-love. Oshun Rising, number 39. Awakening, enlightenment, and insight. Okay. All right, 39. Okay. So the affirmation, it says, I move forward with clarity and purpose. And it says, wake up. If you've been waiting for a sign to make that big move, pursue that scary dream, or initiate that project, consider this your cosmic green light. Your creator is rearranging things in your favor. You are blessed and supported. Wrap up the old and make room for the new. Oshun Rising quantum leaps into a new vibration. You're breaking through old limitations and rising to new heights of understanding and purpose. This card signifies a moment of clarity and an aha moment where everything aligns. It reveals the next steps on your spiritual journey and invites you to embrace a higher level of consciousness. Oshun Rising recalibrates your spiritual compass. Say goodbye to the old paradigms and outdated belief systems. Tired ideas and patterns have no place in your ascension. You're entering a portal of enlightenment that offers new understanding. Okay. Um, and then it says transformation can be intense. Embrace the drastic changes ahead as a sacred journey and stay open to the energies and insights that Oshun Rising brings into your life. You will rise to meet the opportunities and challenges. Be ready to shine your light brightly in this new chapter of your spiritual awakening. Okay. Not tonight. You too. Good night, Black Diamond. All right, so that is a double confirmation as well that as far as anything that you've been kind of like playing small, holding back, you're being encouraged to move towards things that you might keep yourself in a box or this fear, like whatever it is that's keeping you, you're being guided to break out of that. Okay. So how will you embracing your beauty, how will it affect your relationships and manifestations? How will it affect your relationships and manifestations when you embrace this transformation, embracing yourself, your beauty, who you are? How will this, okay. Nine of Cups. Again, I think the Nine of Cups already came out. Got a lot of cards. Oh, no. Queen of Cups. This is the Three of Pentacles. Yeah. Three of Pentacles, but in this deck, it's like walking away from a project. Eight of Swords. Three of Wands. King of Pentacles. Two of Swords. I feel like the Nine of Cups, like how this is going to affect your relationships and manifestations is like it's a more relaxed energy. You know that what's for you was going to come. You know, you are receptive. You are embracing of what's for you, what's good. So it's like you don't have to wrestle to make it happen so much. You don't have to overextend. It's like you don't fight battles that don't concern you anymore, right? Even the battles that come up against you, you don't, it's not to say that you shouldn't fight spiritual battles in a way that you're called to, because it's not so much fighting as it is being in your power. And sometimes, you know how to sun that energy by not engaging with it. You know, when you engage with lower vibrational energy, that means that you're lowering your vibration to meet that rather than rising outside of it. Um, being that mastermind that thinks outside of that lower vibrational box where you outsmart the enemy. You're not on that vibrational level with them. You're not doing what's expected of you. You know what I mean? Like you're not engaging in that. Okay. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, we got that. We got that handled. It's all good. So with the King of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, it's like knowing when it's time that you've outgrown. What's that? It's a biblical scripture that says, when I became a man or something like that, I put away childish things or childish ways. So it's like walking away from that childish energy and allowing yourself to fully embrace the next level of what you deserve. It's like, okay, these things I'm learning that at certain levels, this might have appeased me or this might have appealed to me. This might have been something that I couldn't manage at that time based off of where my level was within myself, with level of my maturity, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever, to where now I'm more equipped or more in a place, I've earned my place of security within myself. It's like when you know that energy where you know yourself, but I feel like we're constantly learning about ourselves, we're constantly evolving into who we are, but it's like when you're comfortable knowing that, this is me. This is me where I'm at right now. This is where I'm headed, or this is where I see myself. This is where I would like to be. There's certain things I've outgrown and I will continue to outgrow. And that is okay. I'm in full acceptance of who I am, where I'm headed, where I'm going. I know my dislikes. I know my likes. Sometimes, like, I might outgrow that. Sometimes I might question it. Sometimes it might be an extra layer added onto that. But there's a comfortability and security with thyself. And I feel Taurus season Taurus season might be a bit more comfortable for you in your material world, your material space. It's like I don't let nothing bother me and nothing, I'm not bothering anybody. It's kind of just you can't be shaked or moved. Not saying that you necessarily are being shaked and moved, but it's like certain things maybe that used to bother you, you'll find that they don't. They don't move you, they don't shake you. You're free. Ooh, I like this card. It's so pretty. It says Ocean of Cosmic Surrender, letting go, acceptance, and detachment. Okay. That this is a beautiful fucking card. It's gorgeous. I love it. The butterflies are like illuminated, like fireflies. So pretty. Number 42. Oh. So the affirmation is I trust that I am guided and supported. Says, stop trying to control everything. This is a divine nudge to let go and let Goddess. The need to control often stems from fear and insecurity. When you release the need to control, you allow yourself to move from rigid and or stuck to a state of flow. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to trust that you are supported, even when you can't see the entire road ahead. Replenish control and trust the flow. Our desire to manage every detail comes from a lack of true belief of self. Oshun of cosmic surrender reminds us that surrender is not defeat. Surrender is a conscious choice to let go and allow the divine to take the reins. True power comes from trusting in the divine plan and being open to what the universe has in store. You've done all you can, and now give space for higher forces to work their magic for you. Surrendering is an act of courage, acknowledging that sometimes the best action is no action at all. Take a deep breath, let go, open yourself up to opportunities and blessings that come when you're not forcing the river's flow. Wow. And she has a she has rituals in this deck too. Yeah, so just relax. It's time to just surrender and let go. And it's like old things. And it's funny, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Pentacles, and the Grim Reaper is coming to take whatever it is that you've been holding on to. It's time to let it go. And remember, I think it was the first question that we asked, the Four of Pentacles also came out, or it was at the bottom of the deck there too, I believe, one or the other. Um, the Four of Pentacles showed its face, period. But the message was that there's some sort of like holding on to or holding back. And this is where the divine says it's time to let that energy go. It's outdated. It no longer serves you. It's a clog in your energy. You know, if anything, it's like, let me take that pain. Let me take the anger. Let me take the resentment from you and transmute it into something better, but you got to let it go. You got to give it back. So a friend of mine, um, she taught me, like, if you have tears of frustration or anger or sad, to don't waste those tears, because low vibrational energies feed off of that. Give it to your divine. Give it to divine, or give it to your ancestors to transmute that energy. Give it to them to do well with that energy, so that you're not holding on to it, and you're just not allowing it to be wasted and spent or ate up by some low vibrational energy feeding off of you. So, all right. All right, so that was our collective reading. Now I'm going to get into the ritual. Um, where we at? 9542. All right. All right, so this is the return to the true you ritual. So if you guys want to take like your notepads or something out, a journal, your pen, your paper, you want to write this down, I got you. Um, mm, do, 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 do. Okay, let's see. I don't know what the time. 95 is 6 is like an hour, 70. I think it's like in the tens, 80s, the 20s, I think. In the 90s, it's like like in an hour and 30, I think. Hour and 30 minutes, I think. Let me see. I gotta convert my time. Yeah, 1:35. Okay. Thought so. All right, so let's get it. So this ritual is going to assist with, hey, a lot of interesting people on here. All right, have a good night, sis. Take care. I appreciate you for hopping on. So all you need is a mirror. It can be like a handheld mirror. It could be a compact mirror, or you can do this in a standing mirror or in your bathroom mirror, whatever, vanity mirror. You need a journal. You need a pen, or you can use a piece of paper. But I would say, if you have a journal that's dedicated to your self reflections, or your like a healing journey journal, or you can just, something small where you can document, or even maybe put it on like your notes in your phone or your iPad or your laptop or whatever it is, so you can come back and like sit with this, because you're going to want to sit with yourself when you do this, because you're going to want to let out whatever it is that you need to let out in relation to anything that is keeping you from seeing yourself. So this is to shed illusions and activate self-love, and realign with your divine self, your divine beauty within yourself. Um so if you would like, you can use an anointing oil, or you can use like some Florida water or something that you've bought or that you made. You can use olive oil that maybe is already dedicated as holy oil, or blessing oil, or you can make your own, or just bless your own olive oil. You're also going to need a white or pink candle. I would say more so preferably a pink candle, maybe for the self-love energy, but it's up to you. Excuse me, any size is fine, but I feel like I would dedicate at least to a 7-day work candle. That's just me personally, but it's up to you. Um, and then you could either do a spiritual bath to cleanse, or you can do a shower, because some people don't have access to bathtubs and things like that. Maybe you're too tall for a bathtub, I don't know, or just whatever. Maybe you just don't like baths. Maybe you prefer showers. You could do that as well. You can still do a shower. Um, or if you want to do like a bowl, like get a really big like kitchen bowl, put some like just like distilled water in it, or Some people do collect rainwater, some people collect moon water. If you're one of those people, this would be a perfect time to probably use it for this. Or like put some sea salt in it or a little bit of Florida water in it. It's up to you how you want to do it. Um, and then of course, music that makes you feel good within yourself, right? Music that speaks to something within you, like a positive energy that centers you back to self acceptance. Whatever that it could be a song. It doesn't have to be a whole playlist. It could be an artist that you listen to that instills that in you, that light inside, or motivates you, encourages you to see yourself and to embrace yourself and to love yourself, whatever that sounds like to you. Or you can listen to like affirmations while you do this, or just complete stillness and quiet. I would say more so like when you're in a place where it's still, it's quiet, it's just you, there's no distractions, where you have that time to yourself. So what you're gonna do, you want to prepare your space. You want that, that quiet, that safe space. You also want to maybe like make sure you cleanse your space, your area. Maybe invite your divine team, God, source, your angels, your ancestors, like to just surround you and protect you, or put that protective shield up. You can smudge whatever you feel, guide. Get your incense, okay, and then yeah, like I said, you're gonna set the tone, set the mood. If music aligns with you, by all means. Um, you're gonna want to place your mirror in front of you or sit in front of your mirror if you're not gonna use like a mobile mirror. I don't even have one on me like in hand right now, but doesn't have to be something like that. It could be literally you standing in a bathroom mirror or your dressing room mirror if you have like a door mirror or sliding door mirror in your room or wherever your space where you can sit and like look at yourself, because what you want to do is you're going to have to connect with yourself basically, and that is uncomfortable. I mean, yeah, it is a little uncomfortable sometimes. Like you see yourself every day in the mirror, but to really sit and gaze in your own eyes, it might be very emotional or very triggering or maybe even uncomfortable at first, might feel awkward. So you're going to write whatever it is that you're going to write, so that you set the intention of releasing any um false senses false sense of self or false beauty standards. You're going to write all that down, and I want you to really like dive deep into that, like really be real with yourself, that what you struggle about yourself, what beauty standards that you have maybe feel like you've had to succumb to, or that you feel pressure to be, or that you're not. And it's like, let all that, because it's false in the sense of, if it's just saying this is what's beautiful, only this is beautiful, only that is beautiful or handsome or attractive, or this is, if it's something along the lines of this box that kind of excludes millions, because not everybody look like, we don't all look alike, and there's not only one level of beauty or attractiveness. Like that's delusional. So like, yes, people have preferences and have types, but it's like, if it's like it doesn't become a preference anymore. It becomes kind of almost like it's coming from a very superficial place, because you're only saying that I can only be attracted to one thing or just this one look. And if there's nothing else, then I can't form a connection. Like, are you really even forming connections with these so-called preferences that you have, or these um conditioned views of what's attractive? Like, is that the only thing that you can really connect with? Or is it something psychologically on the inside of you that is believing that, or programmed to think this way? So like, whatever it is that you feel stuck in the box, I want you to write that false standard on your list, whatever that is. Be real with yourself. If you tell yourself, oh, I'll be pretty only if and when I look like this, or if I act or am this way, or unless someone says it, write all the bullshit down. Just write it down, because I release this. You can put, I release whatever that standard is. I release this, whatever resonates with you. So you're going to write down all the beauty standards, all the comparisons, all the insecurities that you have, that you want to unlearn and you want to release. Just like be raw and completely bare and authentic, real raw with yourself. And then ask yourself the question. I'm telling you, this is like an exercise. Like, it's not, at this point, we can call it a ritual, but at this point, it is a whole exercise. Writing down, where did this shit come from? Be real with yourself. And some of it, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be triggering because it might have come from a parent telling you, "Oh, you be so pretty," or "Oh, you be so handsome," if, or or a lover telling you, "Oh, my type is really this," "You're not really my type. I really like this," like, or these type of, or you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna hurt, but I want you to bear that shit, bear it all out, so you release it. Where did this shit come from? Ask yourself, where did these beliefs come from? Are they truly yours? Are they imposed beliefs or standards, either by society or people that you're connected to, or something that you've been programmed to believe? Where does it come from? And I want you to read this stuff out loud, and then you can either discard it however you want. You can put it in a shredder, you can cut it up, you can rip it up, you can burn it, dispose of it in a healthy environmental way, of course. But I want you to like sit with it for real. And if you're typing it out, if it helps, when you're done, delete it. Delete that shit completely out of your device or computer, whatever. Delete it or print it and then burn it. And then you're going to anoint yourself. I'm going to use this Florida water right here, the Peruvian Florida water. You're going to take your oil or your Florida water. It could even be sea salt water or spray or something like that, with the intention. You're going to place it on your third eye in your heart chakra. And you're going to look into the mirror at yourself, and you're going to state affirmations to yourself as you do this. I'll just use the examples here. So, like, I see my true beauty. I am divine. I'm unique. I'm radiant. I'm worthy of love. Repeat it as long as it, like, keep saying it until it empowers you, until you feel it. Keep saying it. Keep repeating it to yourself. Or you could, one of my faves, the Queen of Pentacles. I think it's the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles card inspired this affirmation for me. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember it verbatim, but something along the lines of, I bring value in every space that I occupy. I I bring value into every space that I occupy, every environment, or every room that I step into. I bring value to that space. My energy is valuable in every space that I occupy. Something along the lines of that. And just gaze at yourself, not just your face and like, oh God, this, oh, I don't like this, oh, what about this? But like, into your own eyes. Give yourself love. And it's gonna feel, I'm telling you, like, it might feel very cringy at first. It is gonna feel cringy to do that, or to even say, you tell yourself that you love yourself. It might feel cringy. And then if it helps, like, to hug yourself, to give yourself love, like, it's okay. And if you cry, you cry, and that's good, because that means you're releasing. You let in whatever that energy that was holding you from loving yourself, holding it back. You're releasing that barrier between you and yourself. So that's good. Um, yeah, just thank yourself for showing up, and then when you do your spiritual cleanse, like, wash yourself with the intent of clearing out all that old energy and just washing it off of you and letting it go down the drain, whether it's down the faucet or down the sink, whatever, with that intention. Okay. So when you're done with your candle, you can blow it out, celebrate, like blowing out a candle for your birthday, like, or whatever it means to you. I'm celebrating this new energy that I'm coming into, this embracing. I'm giving birth to that and I'm celebrating it. All right, so that is the ritual. Plain and simple, short and sweet, quick, straight to the point. But yeah, if you guys feel okay or comfortable with sharing, like, what false beauty standards or beliefs are you releasing personally for yourself, if you don't mind sharing, if you feel comfortable. If not, that's okay. But what false beauty standards are you holding for yourself? What are you releasing that you've been believing in the past or been told? Mine's not really a beauty standard. It's more so of like just a standard of like showing up, like how you show up in the world, but like I guess being okay with not being put in a box. I guess a stereotypical a box that is expected of someone of my race, um, and my gender, like that we don't just come in a one size fit all representation. Like there's so many different layers to us. And it's okay if people misjudge you, don't understand you or don't want to, that's fine. It's okay. Um I don't really know like a beauty standard, I guess weight standards because a lot of like weight, like that's something that as I've gotten older, I've been shamed for a lot with people close to me because if they know me before I became this size, it's like judgment around it. And it's like I was in my late teens, early 20s. I'm not going to be that size forever and that's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like that might be one of them. But yeah, that's just one of them that I'll share. But if not, I think that will conclude it, y'all, for the night. I hope this was a helpful message and reading, effective in a healing way, beautiful way. Take this energy of the solar eclipse, Aries energy, to do well with it, to empower yourself, to tap into the trueness of who you are, to find that your purpose or to embark on your purpose and not be afraid to step out into it and afraid to be that trailblazer because a lot of you it is things that you haven't seen before and you feel like if I do it this is not going to work because no one's going to understand it or get it or it's unrealistic, it's impossible, but it's like no, like you sometimes you got to be that first. Like there's a first time for everything. So why not be that first time? Why not be that first like birthing that thing that has yet to be birthed yet here. So why not be that? You know, because it is guaranteed a blessing to someone. So I appreciate y'all. It was my pleasure to do this live. It was worth the divine wait and time. So if you're watching the replay, make sure you guys like this video. If you're watching it live right now, like this video, share it with someone you feel like it may resonate or help. And I will see you guys in the next Ghetto Fairy Friday, which will be not this next Friday, but the Friday after the next. So the second Friday of April, I will see you guys back. And as always, much love. Y'all be blessed, be safe. Take care. Peace.